go a wild man down, know we all like. On the top row crowd.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's your boy, your nephew, your cousin. It's the Don Chaz Evans, and you're checking out the 3 Count Podcast Debate Show. Chaz and friends, let me introduce to you my friends while they are still on mute. Introducing first, he is the man that runs this show. He is the guy that he's the face of the 3 Count Podcast because, hey, let's just be real. He has a better face than me. All right, he is the landlord of the Dog Pound. Shout out to him for getting our, background music that you all heard before we got started. That's the technical difficulties we had because we had to make sure we get our background music good. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Red Dog.
Hey, yo. It's Air Force Veteran Intel Specialist, the one you call on when you need to get a job done, and your friendly neighborhood Red Dog. And don't put this on me. Don't put this on the background music.
Right?
It's fucked up.
And next, ladies and gentlemen, this guy. Okay, listen, let me tell you about this guy. He's about 6 foot, all right? 245 pounds of pure evil. All right? He is the super villain, all right? He is the Dark Lord. Master Xehanort don't got nothing on him, all right? Even Rumpelstiltskin towers in fear to this man. Ladies and gentlemen, right there below me, he is Damien Fatal.
Okay, so you said 200 and what?
45 pounds of pure evil.
What kind of Danhausen bullshit is this?
Right? Like, yo, dude, that's 60 pounds of evil that I'm hiding very well.
Good for you. That's good. It's all muscle. That's all muscle.
It's all muscle.
I can't with you.
It's all muscle, bro. Anyway, all right. Welcome to Chaz and Friends, all right? Welcome to our wonderful debate show. We got a very, very, very awesome show. There could possibly be a Chaz rant coming to, so we'll wait till see what that happens. Everyone might go off today. Damien goes off every week for grinding his gears. So we might have a hot ass Red Dog today because he might go off, and then we might have a Chaz rant. Wonderful show today. If you haven't already done so, make sure you follow us on your favorite social media platforms up there at the top of the screen. 3Count_pod is Twitter. Everything else is 3Count Pod. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay. Like, we really appreciate it. Please. Follow our audio podcast listeners. Make sure you subscribe wherever you're listening, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Pandora, wherever it gets your podcast on. Make sure you give us a like. Also, give us a 5-star Frog Splash review off the top of the Tokyo Dome on Apple Podcasts. I got to go bigger every week. That's now the gimmick, Damien. Don't make that fit.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I'm just saying, you're telling people to, commit suicide at this point.
Look, last week was SoFi Stadium, and I think, this week's the Tokyo Dome, and if we're still going week by week, that means they survived.
I'm still thinking though, man, is SoFi smaller than the Tokyo Dome?
It looks like it. I just look from my idea of the Tokyo Dome when they do Wrestle Kingdom. Just when I think of it, it looks bigger to me, but it might not be.
It looks real big, actually.
It do, because I'm just thinking about it, and it might not. It just could be the way that it's built, but it looks bigger to me. You had to look it up, aren't you?
Nope, I'm not.
Oh, I thought you.
I'm doing stuff here with the podcast. I got no Googling happens.
No Googling happens.
No Googling happens during this show because I just fire off stuff and hope that it's fact, and if it's not, nobody's gonna correct me anyway in the comment section.
That's true. That's very true. Anyway, Cliff, what we got going on down the hall in Studio 2B?
Yeah, so check it out. So we do have another episode of Now Entering coming out with you guys. It is going to be all natural. Ashley, she's going to be joining us on the show. Actually, this show was recorded while she was on the road. So it'll be the first road story that we have where someone legitimately is driving to a show while we was talking. So enjoy. Give a like because she put her life on the line and she's talking to us as she's driving her car.
Wonderful. All right. Let's get it. Temp check. Let's start it off hot. Temp check. All right. For those who don't know what temp check is when we give you our hottest and or coldest wrestlers going into this week. So let's start with Damien. What you got? Temp check.
I think he's frozen.
Oh my goodness. Told y'all technical difficulties.
Always.
Always. We can never have a perfect show. But anyway, Red Dog, what about you?
Temp check.
What's the temperature like over there?
Let's go with it's nice and rainy outside right now. No, I think what I'm gonna go with as far as like temp check with hottest wrestler, it's hard not to go with I gotta change the banner real quick to two of us since it's hard not to go with Solo Sikoa again because the guy is a part of like all the major storylines right now. Like he's kind of like the big weave, and plus, he was a part of the first draft pick for SmackDown. So
he was.
I have to kind of lean that way. I like it, so I think I'm gonna lean with Solo. Even though I know he's gonna have his thing going on with Matt Riddle here soon. So definitely, I like where we're going. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with Solo as far as hottest, coldest wrestler. Unfortunately, man, I love everything that he does outside of wrestling. I do love the stuff that he does inside of wrestling, but I'm gonna have to give coldest wrestler to Xavier Woods because this guy, man, like in the ring wise, I'm just kind of like, oh, man, my man keeps taking L after L after L, and eventually, like I need him to have a singles run with the championship. I don't care which one it is, whether it's the U.S. or it's the Intercontinental. I just need him to have a run with the 24/7 or with the championship. I just need that.
All right. Okay. I guess so, Xavier. All right. Here's my hottest wrestler. Okay. My hottest wrestler on any normal circumstance, I would agree with you with Solo. Solo's killing it. I said it last week. And I said it the week before. Solo is killing it. And ever since he's been called up, they've handled Solo very, 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 very well. And I definitely think now with Solo being over there on SmackDown with Roman, he's probably going to win at least a mid-card title. At least by the end of the year. I think I see it coming. But that's not today. The draft happened. All right, night one of the draft. Technically, we were drafting all weekend. But the draft is here and it's happened. It's happening. And, well, the AJ Styles is back. and the OC as a whole is back. I even forgot for a second that Mia Yim was a part of the OC.
How did you forget that?
Because they ain't been there.
Well, because AJ hasn't been there. Makes sense.
Well, yeah. But she been on TV. She was doing something else. Remember, she was tagging with somebody.
Yeah, but doesn't mean she ain't part of the group still. She never.
But I just forgot that she wasn't like she came out to her stuff. She wasn't doing the. She wasn't doing the. I mean, she did it a couple times, but like I forgot. But no, my hottest wrestlers is the OC. Now that AJ's back, I definitely think we can definitely see some OC versus Bloodline. Yeah, so AJ Styles and the OC, hottest wrestler, coldest wrestlers. Yeah, it's gonna be Jungle Boy. I called it. I don't let you know. I did call it. It was gonna be a pillars match. We were gonna get it double or nothing. Since that it looks like that's where we're going. Jungle Boy throughout this has been like he got hot, and then once they added Sammy into it, and again, Jungle Boy is like the least of my favorite now. I would rather see Darby win it, or have Sammy win it. I don't want Jungle Boy. I don't. I like his work. I still like to see him wrestle. Like bro can work. when he puts that microphone in his hand, it just, ooh, yeah, exactly.
He doesn't like talking, right?
I know, and this he gotta get over that. Unless they want somebody give him a manager, do the whole Brock thing. Brock can't talk, but Brock has gotten better.
Brock has gotten a lot better.
Situation playing out, he has gotten better though.
So, but yeah,
I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that whole thing.
No pillars.
Well, it's because of the way it's playing out.
Yeah.
It's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Like, you could have gotten to that match by just making the fucking match and just having them face each other to build the match.
Or not even just like facing each other. Just have them face like other people. Like, I mean, you have Dark and you have Dark for a reason, right? Like, we put all these matches on Dark. You have, you can bring up these guys and you can have them come in and battle them and stuff like that.
I really need you to get over that, Dark. It is time to let go of Dark, my man.
No. So my point though is that you have all these wrestlers. You have this show.
Cliff has been a defender of Dark from day one.
Notice I'm not defending Dark Elevation though. That show is not going away. So, but with Dark, like, you have these shows though, right? Like, and you bring all these wrestlers on, and if you want 4 matches, you can have 4 matches with 4 different guys. Make one of them a challenge for somebody, right? So, like, maybe Darby has kind of like a walkthrough one week. Sammy has one walkthrough that same week. Maybe Jungle Boy has the toughest challenge, right? MJF just crushes everybody, right? Until we get to where we're at. MJF. But it's like each one could have like that challenging wrestler of the week. That way it kind of showcases like the new talent that you're kind of like you're bringing in, but then also like you're kind of like give them the rub, but you're also showing that these guys are willing to take on all competitors no matter who they are. Then like and to show off like why they're exactly the 4 pillars, right, of like this whole thing, instead of like, oh hey, we're gonna battle these 2 against these 2, and then the winners of those will go on to face these 2. Now we're gonna have a tag match with these 2. If they win, they're gonna meet up with these guys. It's like, why? We know that's where we're going anyway. We don't need that drama. Is so that drama is so bad.
I mean, I get it. They got TV time to fill, but that was the wrong way to do it.
Yeah. I mean, the match is going to be great. Like,
no, I'm not.
But it just sucks the way that how we've gotten to this match. Exactly. It should have been better. Yes, we can all agree to that. Like, the match will be fire regardless. Like, that we're not like when we want to. It's not the match. It's not the competitors, because all 4 of those guys can kill it on any given day of the week. It's just the build up to it, how we got to it. Ugh, we could have done better.
We not want to pay money to watch it.
Right. If I was like I said, if you weren't the wrestling fan like we were, who knows of these 4 guys and know that they're going to kill it, and I'm just a casual watching it. Yeah, I'm not. It's confusing. I'm not going to want to spend $59.99 on the BR app.
You want me to spend $60 to watch this? Nah, good fam. I'll watch the replay, the little highlights.
So, but Damien,
live reactions with no videos. Oh, my
temp check. Yeah, temp check. We got into a whole topic of but temp check.
I guess the number 1 draft pick to SmackDown. Yep, you got it. And coldest. You know what? I'm gonna be.
It's not Chris Jericho.
It's everything that Chris Jericho is doing and everybody that's associated with it.
Wow. See, I thought I put the first. No, you did the first faction with the LWO, Cliff. I didn't. So, listen, give me LWO versus the OC. Me and Cliff will be at like the throat with each other at that point.
I feel like that's such a wild ass matchup because it's 2 face factions going against each other.
Yeah.
I guess my problem with that whole thing is I feel so sorry for Britt Baker. It's like the only one I feel sorry for out of that whole.
Oh, do you see the shirt?
shirt was funny. The shirt was funny.
I don't like the shirt. I don't like like
the idea. It's more the idea. Of
the idea. I get what they were trying to do, but it's not. Yeah, it came out.
Yeah, the idea of it's funny, but the shirt is just horrible.
Yeah,
like it was a rush job. However, like
we didn't think this fully through.
That whole beatdown angle was just god awful. Like I like
Roddy, but I like Roddy Strong coming out.
I did like Roddy,
and Roddy was my wrestler of the week until the OC came back.
See, the only problem is that now he's jumping in with Jericho, and now his whole entire AEW career is ruined.
No, it's not. It's not.
Yep, Roddy's going to Impact, guys.
No, he's not. We're about to get the undisputed. We're finally going to get the undisputed era.
Bro, no, we won't.
I have to get transferred. Transferred to like Ring of Honor. Go back there.
I was like,
he might.
I was like, I think Fish is at New Japan right now.
Well, not Fish. What you call it? Remember, Fish was injured, and it was O'Reilly.
Right, and Fish is not and Fish is not there no more.
Right, so it doesn't matter because he wasn't there he wasn't there really. Let's be honest, Bobby wasn't there for the undisputed era rise in NXT when they were dominating. He was hurt. It was Roddy.
He got hurt a couple of times.
Exactly. If you really want to be honest, it was just Red Dragon when they put Roddy in there. Like that's the real undisputed era.
No, it is. It was.
Dragon just put out a similar shirt with her. She did.
She did.
I didn't. Man, I don't remember. I must have been way out there.
But hers was cooler though.
Hers was pretty cool. There's no lie about that.
I really don't remember. I have no recollection of this.
Brits is drawn on. That's real.
It looks. It doesn't look like. Brits look like a little AI. Like they had AI did it.
Right. And they were like.
Damn. I did. I just saw the shirt. I was like looking at the shirt right now, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that definitely."
Yeah.
Like
I don't. But here's the thing that I don't remember.
Cool.
I don't remember her getting hit in the face.
I don't either.
Like
who, Britt?
During the whole thing, I don't remember her getting hit in the face. Like during that beatdown angle, she didn't get hit in the face. No, she took a bunch of canes to the back. That's why I was like, unless like one of them actually slipped up and hit her like while they were like the initial beatdown, post everything else, like she was taking canes to the back. Like I don't remember her getting it. I don't know. I may have to go back and rewatch.
Yeah,
maybe it was in a match or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm just missing out.
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that. All right.
The funny part about it is that like that incident with the beatdown is what is irritating me. By the way,
I know you just.
No, remind me about that because that. Oh my gosh, that was amateur hour. But we'll get back to
that.
All right. Before we get to our first topic, I got the indie spotlight for us. All right. Cliff, what happened to EWA first? I don't know. You were there. So what happened?
Matches.
You don't know what happened either.
It's like you asked me to like listen. Like there was matches. They happened. There were a lot of good matches. Ill O'Neill had a great match too. I think it was Marcus. It was definitely a lot of fun watching like a big wrestling spectacle go down. So I definitely loved watching their work together. Of course, Jason Drake and Jesse O'Ryan went over Toxic Dogs. That's a topic for another. That's a topic for another discussion. But then Saul Esparza dropped his EWA Cruiserweight title to Old Man Young Boy.
I saw that actually. I was in the locker room at the show we were at, and I seen it. I go, oh, Old Man Young Boy.
And probably one of my favorite spots of the night when Saul Esparza spit his gum at Old Man Young Boy, who picked it up off the ground and just put it back in Saul's mouth. It was a good spot. I was like, hey, yo, you know what? This is actually really funny. I like this.
on the ground.
Oh yeah, it was like they were both just looking at each other and saw just, and then you just see old man just grab it and just like hit him in the face and just start just jacking it with. I was like, hey yo, I love this. I was like, this is why I love wrestling.
That's wild.
Spots like this. Harvard of Grace.
I would not use.
Yep.
Continue.
Good old EWA. Anyway, all right. Let's One CW Pro Wrestling presents Eastern Shore Pro Wrestling. So what happened was Christopher Andino, the GOAT, defeated Trucker Josh to retain the SWA Heavyweight Championship. South Philly's Finest defeated the Workhorses and Pure Ignorance in a three-way tag.
Look.
I thought it was just a tag match. The way you just stopped the
Well, no, I didn't get pinned. We didn't get pinned.
Yeah.
We didn't get pinned. We didn't lose.
That is.
Look, in a multi-man match, you better never ever get pinned.
No, we didn't get pinned.
I like it or not, my name is still attached to that.
Miles Millennium defeated.
He can't get through it.
Oh man, that was funny. Defeated Sledge Gibson and Mike Z to become the new ESPW Heritage Champion. Avery Jacks, the next LeBron James of wrestling. All right, watch out for her. Defeated Adriana. Ty Awesome defeated Ranch Hand Carlson to retain ESPW Heavyweight Championship. Reality Check Tiberius and Bad Banks defeated the Tar Dynasty to become the new ESPW Tag Team Champions. Everest defeated Elijah Friday and Vashon in a 2-on-1 handicap match. And in your main event, Ranch Hand Carlson and Trucker Josh defeated Dazzling Derek, Christopher Andino, and Ty Awesome. That's the Indie Spotlight. If you want your shows results to be read, post them. Send them to us, please, because we'll read them. Let's get.
Read it. Shit. Don't send shit to me.
Send it only to Damien. If you guys just want to go to Messenger, just type in Damien Fake Towel with the E at the end and just hit him in the Messenger with it.
Well, guess what? We will stop me doing this segment, won't we?
Only send them to. Actually, just email it at thedarklorddamienfatal@gmail.com.
Now I got
if his email
address.
On that note, let's get to our first debate topic. We have wasted enough time.
Instantly for the mood.
Let's get on to it. All right. So, spoiler alert. Not spoiler alert anymore, I guess. Trinity Fatu has finally made her debut in, drum roll please. Wow, it's terrible. Anyway, in Impact Wrestling, she showed up. Her first match was against friend of the show, friend of ours, Kylan King. And she dropped this hot new finisher submission. And I go, man, why couldn't I have come up with something like that? So shout out for Trinity.
You ain't Trinity. That's why.
You know what? You're absolutely right. I just only hope I could just be at least a smidge of the talent that she is. Because, look, I just want to put it out there, like, I'm really happy for her, like, just because she's really going to, she's really making her own and really doing it. So I'm happy for her. Hope she does well. But here's the debate topic. So, wait, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, here we go. How much of a game changer? I couldn't find my outline. How much of a game changer is Trent going to Impact be? Let's start with you, Cliff. Let's go, Damien. I'll be at the end.
All right. So,
what if I wanted to go last?
Yeah, no kidding, man. Like you always gotta put yourself at the end. You gotta put yourself over.
I know.
Like I get it's called Chaz and Friends, but you could lead off.
Damn.
Actually, you know what? You tell us your opinion. Go ahead.
Exactly.
Okay, fine.
Damien can wrap it up.
Jeez, I mean, God, I didn't know it was that big of a deal.
We just turned. We're now the heels of this podcast.
Right. Like this was like Thanos snapping. Like what?
No.
Anyway,
snapping would constitute that one of us would be erased off of here. This is just a full takeover without Jay Bougie. Is instantly his mode.
All right, so what's your opinion, Chad?
All right, so look, I think Trend being in Impact makes the biggest sense. It makes the best. It's just the best for business. If I want to steal lines, but look, what division in all of wrestling has the best women's division? Period. The Knockouts. You can say Stardom, and that's fine. You can argue Stardom, and you give a good point with Stardom. But as far as the U.S. is concerned, who does women's wrestling the best? It's not the E. It's not AEW.
Definitely not them.
It's Impact. It's the Knockouts. The Knockouts were doing women's wrestling when the E was still doing bra and panty matches.
Not fact.
Like let's really keep it. Like if we want to keep it a stack.
No, that's fact.
So if Trent wants to go out there and put herself out there and say that, look, I'm not in the WWE. I'm like really that girl. Like I'm it. I'm her. Why not do it in Impact? Look at just Mickie James has done it, right? Think like when you think of like women's wrestlers and not just WWE, a lot of those big names come from the Knockout division. Kong.
Oh yeah.
Gail Kim. Mickie James. Like, Madison Rain, the beautiful people. Like
there's several people that like went.
Yeah.
And went there, like
Tara. You're right. You're right.
And did great there.
Tara did
a great bit.
So
did amazing.
Who's to say why can't Trent be one of those staples in the Knockouts? And just think about the dream matches we can get. Think about Trent and Jordan Grace.
Yeah, I like
right. And even Trent said it. Deonna Purrazzo. Give me that. I inject that into my veins. I can watch that match 50 times over just thinking about it. So I think it's a huge game changer. It definitely puts the Knockouts division at the forefront of women's wrestling, having that big of a name, especially being, all the drama and stuff that surrounded her departure. So I think this is a huge dub for Impact.
All right, so I think you're right in the sense that it's a huge impact.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
It's a massive get. It's a massive get, like to get Trent. I don't know if it's gonna sound weird when I say this, right? So hear me out. But I don't know if that's the best move for Trent. It's the best move for Impact. Yeah, and I say this in the sense that Impact must know something, right, to get Trent to Impact, right? As in like a Mercedes maybe joining later or something to that effect. Because I don't know if I love watching, whether you want to call her Naomi or you want to call her Trinity. It doesn't matter to me, right? I just don't think that she's the needle mover that everybody thinks that she is. And I think when you have her paired up with like Mercedes, I think now you accelerate everything. And I know we're gonna look at Naomi. We'll be like, she's a 2-time champion. She was carrying a women's division for a bit. All these great things, but Impact is loaded with all that same talent that Trent is on. Like, I mean, we've just named off several names just currently with like Jordan Grace, Gail Kent, or not Gail,
Is it not
Deanna
Gail Kent?
Prazo.
That's
Yeah,
two.
Deanna Prazo there,
That's two.
right?
That's two. It's only two.
You know, and we're also looking at people. I'm trying to. Jeez, man, I'm thinking, but it's
Come on
because
now.
Tasha Steelz is gonna be coming back.
Okay.
You know, I mean, we're not talking. We're just talking about those, right? And then, not to mention that you're probably gonna end up getting. Let's just be real. Mercedes may be coming over to Impact. We still don't know, right? There's a possibility, right? Taya, right, is still probably lingering around, even though, like, I know, like, they wrapped up her final match, but she's always gonna be going back. It's just that there's always so much talent that gets loaded into the knockouts division that it's hard not to look at Trin and be like, I like this move. I just hope that you don't get lost in the shuffle because there's a lot of good women wrestlers, and we just established that Impact has consistently booked the best women's division.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's hard, right? When you get so many good wrestlers, we see it everywhere with WWE. They have great wrestlers. Then a lot of our favorite wrestlers kind of get lost in the shuffle, and we're just like, well, what about that person, this person? Like right now, right? We look at AEW and we're like, man, but they have so much. They have a loaded talent, like a loaded card just on the male side, and we're like, they get lost in the talent or lost in the shuffle. Then you look at someone like you look at the women's division, like the Knockouts division, right? And just women are getting lost in the shuffle, right? It was just rumored last night that Asuka asked for her release from WWE. When we talk about women getting lost in the shuffle, this is what we're talking about. And that's why I worry about Trin, right? Is that right now she's, and I don't want to sound, when I say this, it's not meant to sound different, but she's kind of like the new shiny toy at Impact. And she's going to have a lot of great matches that are going to be coming out, and we're going to see them. And then what? The next person comes in, and guess what happens? Trin kind of moves down the card a little bit. And that's my worry, because she's such a talent. And I think if she gone somewhere like New Japan, like, she can shine there, right? And then come back over and demand like a bigger move, just like Mercedes did. And that's where I'm just kind of worried about. So I like the fact that she gets to test herself with a lot stiffer, I don't want to say stiffer, a lot tougher competition with the women of the Knockouts. But I worry that she's going to get lost in the shuffle. That's where I'm at with it.
No, that is probably one of the most one of Cliff's. This is one of Cliff's I hate his takes list. It's not many on the list, but that's one of them. I'm sorry, I just completely disagree. I think we're over exaggerating. I don't look at the Impact roster. No. Sorry, go say your point, Damien. I don't want to say your point.
So I see both sides of what you're both are saying. I don't think she's gonna get lost in the shuffle just because of the fact that, like, it's somebody that knows what they're doing. There you go. I guess that's as simple as put it. She's gonna have to get herself up, and she's like more than 3/4 of the way up that hill just by showing up in the first place. Probably financially, it was probably the best move for her because New Japan, they weren't able to afford probably what her acting price was. And as long as she goes anywhere but AEW, it's a good move for her. AEW, she'll get lost in the shuffle. It should be added to the outcast.
Yeah.
That's just stupid. So, Impact, I think it benefits her and Impact. So, it was the better company. If she was going to stay stateside, it's the better company. Especially if she wasn't going back to WWE. That's not where she wanted to go, so that next choice is Impact. So, Trinity, good choice. Smart woman. Very smart.
I got a question, Cliff.
I knew I liked her for a reason.
I have a question. So,
yes.
What play did you say? New Japan? You said New Japan. You would rather have to go to New Japan than?
Yeah.
You don't think she would get lost in the shuffle in New Japan?
No, I don't. 100% don't think so.
Okay.
The thing is my worry is that like I said, with the audience and with the division that's already there, okay, at Impact, I think it's a stacked ass division. And I think there's gonna be two things that happen. One, she's gonna find herself consistently at the top, or two, somewhere in the line, she's gonna start dropping down the card when we see her start getting shuffled and mixed around. And who knows how long her contract is there for? 8 weeks, 16 weeks? We don't know, right? I just worry that she might get lost in the shuffle. That's all.
I can't see your face.
I just don't. I don't think.
I know you pulling the Damien thing right now. It's weird.
I know. What's up? We're switching places.
No, maybe let me fix my light then. Let me.
Now you look like a horror villain.
I know, right?
Let me tell you a story from the dark.
Let me in.
Right, yo.
That's a lot better.
Turn me into the
That's a
thing.
lot better.
All right. I Lost in the Shuffle. I think it's crazy on Impact because, like, let's just be real. They're only using 4 women at a time, really. And yeah, it's wild to me, but that's okay.
It's fine. But I mean, you know, who else can we say? Killer Kelly is doing like crazy things on the show right now. Masha Slamovich, right, is still there. Giselle Shaw is still there, right? We talking about Havoc. Who was the other one I was thinking of? That's with
Colin King's there too. Colin King.
Colin King, right? But I'm looking at like people who've been there for like a longer time, right? Right. What's her face from The Decay? Rosemary. Rosemary's there, right? Gianna Perazzo, right? Sue Young when she returns, right? There's just a loaded of the roster that when I'm looking at, I'm like, oh man, like that's kind of tough. Like it's a tough ass list to look at. And so you look at
made an awesome list for her to go through.
Right. No, and
that's
that's
what I'm saying. I think that's how I'm looking at it. I'm like, all right, cool. You're giving me all these matches. I'm like, that's fire. Like that might not be as fire, but it should be solid. But like, yeah,
I'm not saying she's not going to have fire matches. I'm not saying that she's not going to have fire matches. I'm just saying when you look at the roster, there could be a possibility that she gets mixed in the shuffle and lost. And that's what I'm concerned about. Not that I'm not concerned about that she's not going to have fire matches. She's going to have incredible matches. I never took that away from her, that she's not a great wrestler. I just said that that's a division that is super stacked and super. You know what? To be fair, if you wasn't in the 4 Horsewomen, if you're not Ronda Rousey, if you're not an Asuka type, right? I wouldn't worry about you getting lost in the shuffle. Most of the women from the E that are below, like, let's be, I'll say the champions, the 4 Horsemen, and Asuka, right? And I say that with Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley being at the top 2, right? I think everybody underneath those girls, all those women wrestlers, could get lost in the shuffle super quick. I think every woman.
You think Natalya, if she left, would get lost? You're bugging. Yeah. No, absolutely.
She's lost in the shuffle now at the E.
That's the E. That's the E. We already.
We can't look at Impact.
We've already stated
we cannot look at Impact. No, we cannot look at we can't look at the Knockouts roster like Natalya. You can't be like, well, if Natalya leaves the E and she goes to Impact and Knockouts roster, boom, top of the card. That's not how it is.
And I promise you.
I look at that talent. I look at that knockout roster, and I'm like, yo, that roster is lit. And I know Natalya can have fire matches with all those people on the roster.
Man.
I get that. But when I look at the roster itself and take Natalya into it, she's somewhere in the middle. That's me telling people that the knockout roster is that lit. Like, that's not me trying to take away. Outside of Britt Baker, every woman gets lost in the shuffle.
Correct. Absolutely.
That's my point. But look, if you took Britt Baker out of the AEW women's roster and you put her in the E roster, she's upper middle card, right? Like, would you agree?
If she doesn't go to NXT first.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the roster. I'm like,
the main roster. Yes.
And I'm not trying to take anything away. Like, they're great doing everything that they do, right? But this is what I'm saying is that's how tough. I think that women's division is. It's not me trying to be an asshole and be like, oh, Trent's not that good. No, I'm just like, hey, yo, this is a different type of like wrestling company that you're going to that has a that really focuses on the knockouts division. So going there, that's kind of like that's a boss move, right? I'll give, and I like Trent. I think she's gonna do great, but I just think that by accident she might get lost in the shuffle. Not trying to be a dick about it. I'm just saying she's very talented, and while you're over here mad. You're over here mad because I'm talking about how great the Impact roster is, and you're mad because I'm talking about how Ayo Trent might have that possibility of just kind of get lost in the shuffle. I'm not taking anything away from Trent. I'm just saying
what's your match of the week, bro? What's your match of the week, bro?
That's so it is. You know what? Just for that, Trent versus Kylie King. That's my match of the week. Fuck you.
Did you see the match? Did you see the match?
Yes, I watched that match. It was a great match. I'm not even taking anything away from. I keep trying to tell you. Yes, there's fire matches to be had. I'm just saying I don't want to see someone like Trent be the gatekeeper. Okay, I want her at the top of the card.
Okay,
but there's a good possibility she could get lost. Nah, condescending ass dude. Get this man out of here, man.
Well, since Cliff don't want to tell me his match of the week, because he like I know that's not his real match of the week. But go ahead, Damien. What's your match of the week?
Tag team title rematch.
Yeah, that's mine too.
I was gonna pick. I was like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna stick to I'm just gonna bunker down now. I'm just gonna dig these heels to the ground, let people know.
Yeah, that was my favorite. That was my favorite match of the week too. I'm not even gonna front. I love that joint.
I'm not walking off the set. It's just my dog is barking. She wants to go outside out to play with the wife.
The fact that you had to announce that though.
Yeah, I would hate to walk off the set and all of a sudden be like, "Oh, you're really walking off now?"
I wouldn't. Yeah, I would. I would. Yeah, I would have.
100%.
I would have. Not even.
Not like we've been doing this show for 4 years. Like I wouldn't know what was gonna happen next.
Exactly. You know what? Yeah, you're right. I'm not gonna front that.
And this is why the show is gonna go long today because we have our second topic coming up and we already know what's gonna happen.
Oh yeah. Oh
shit.
So before we get there, let's get it. Hey, Damien, what grinds your gears?
Dumbasses that don't know how to do a certain spot correctly.
So like 90% of the independents. Got it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. So
not
like,
sorry.
When you
oh, you talking about that handcuff spot? Oh my god. Not again.
You know I was mad when I saw that.
Not again. I heard this on the phone, folks.
No. Come on.
Go hey, man. As they say, get your shit off. As they say in wrestling, get your shit off. Go ahead, bro.
Why? Like, why? Why didn't you handcuff him in the corner to the turnbuckle? Especially with a long chain like that. Like, he had to hold on. The way that they handcuffed him, it was, I can't even explain it. He was like holding the rope and his hand was like kind of handcuffed to and the other part was just dangling. Like, why?
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of us have never played with handcuffs before, and this shows.
I see that somebody is obviously not having fun in their sex life.
All right, so.
Or just ever sat in the back of a cruiser.
Look, I implore everyone, learn how to use handcuffs and get out of them. It's a very useful tool. It has got me out of a lot of sticky situations. I will tell you that.
Well,
but we're also not telling you where to look to go find that because that's not what we do here. You have to research that information on your own. The 3 Count podcast does not condone finding out how to get
once we had this topic that this show was off the rails, and this is another 2 week. Hey, 2 weeks in a row we have it. So it's 14 days without an incident. Yep. Here we go.
Back to zero.
Back to zero. Jeez. All right, let's get to this topic, because this is what everyone's talking about. So WWE is being filed with a lawsuit, folks, by a former writer. So I'm going to read off pretty much the lawsuit and the accusations. So the lawsuit, which names Vince McMahon and other employees, Chris Dunn, Ryan Callahan, Jennifer Pepperman, Christine Lubero, Mike Heller, and the billionaire princess Stephanie McMahon. It cites the offensively racist and stereotypical jargon used in WWE scripts. Abraham, who claims that she was fired over taking a commemorative chair despite her male Caucasian colleagues doing the same with no recourse, is seeking reinstatement, damages, declaratory judgment, and an injunction restraining defendants from engaging in such unlawful conduct. WWE, of course, in typical WWE fashion, has declined to comment on these accusations. So,
yeah, I would too.
Oh yeah, no. Here we go. So, Brittany Abraham, she alleges racist pitches in the WWE writer room. She has raised serious allegations of racially insensitive pitches from within the WWE writers' room against Black talent, Muslim talent, and women. The allegations includes a pitch for WWE superstar Reggie, aka Scripps, in NXT to dress up in drag on television. In spring 2021, there was also an alleged crocodile hunter type character pitch for WWE superstar Shane Thorne, where Thorne, who is Australian, would hunt Reggie. According to the suit, the angle was pitched by WWE lead writer. I knew he was going to.
I'm laughing because of Damon. Because of Damon.
I
just want that to be known.
Yes.
Because full transparency for all those who don't know, when we told him about some of the stuff that was going to come out, we knew he was going to be laughing. So for him just to be busting a gut on this, yes. I'm like, yeah, I definitely knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, I knew. Yeah, I was waiting for me to say that one for him to.
I want to say something real quick. Oh, I would have paid money to see that.
The thing is that gimmick actually was in a dark match.
Yeah.
I would have paid to see all of that transpire. Just to let you know. Continue.
So according to the lawsuit, the angle was pitched by WWE lead writer Ryan Callahan. Holding Reggie captive in cages was also allegedly discussed. There, good. Here's the second win. I know. I didn't hear. As of this writing in Callahan's LinkedIn profile, it says that he is the vice president of WWE SmackDown. There are more allegations. So the plaintiff states that she emailed Callahan and complained about Apollo Crews' exaggerated Nigerian accent. He is of Nigerian descent. However, he was made to speak in the accent from 2020 to 2021, where he also carried a spear to the ring. The plaintiff is also a Black woman, and a fellow Black writer, Kyla Silvers, were allegedly tasked with pitching. Oh, here we go. Because this is what makes me mad. Pitching a love storyline between Aaliyah Mansour and Angel Garza. The storyline would allegedly involve Mansour, who was 5 years old in 2001, revealing that he was secretly behind the 9/11 attacks. New details suggest that Vince McMahon pitched an idea for Mustafa Ali that was just as bad, which reportedly led to Ali requesting his release in 2022. Ali was denied that request and continues to compete on WWE television. WWE Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair allegedly expressed frustration with WWE writer Chris Dunn, who, according to the lawsuit, scripted Belair to say, and I'm not going to be over everybody, but don't make me take off my earrings and beat your ass. The lawsuit alleges Belair told Dunn 3 different times that I don't want to say that line, but terrible. Wow, that's a typo. But he never listens to me. He puts that line in every week. That's the lawsuit. So Here is how does this affect the look of WWE? And let's just give our opinions on that. Let's go with you, Cliff.
I mean, are we surprised? Like,
No.
yeah, like at this point, like, I mean, just like it seems like everything is just kind of like everything gets thrown over, right? We legitimately had a man change his name from the great, Guerrero last name to Kieran White, in which where he was like denouncing everything that he has that ever was Latin related, and he became like a caddy in a golf cart, like, right? And he was just talking about all like the white things he did. We legitimately had like a whole angle where we told a bunch of Mexicans that they need to ride around and they they needed to
The
drive around.
In lawnmowers.
Yeah, lawnmowers. We had the Mexicals driving around lawnmowers and stuff like that. They were carrying rakes at one time. Like, bro, like there was so much.
JBL going to the border with the
Yes, I'm saying, like, dude, like if you look back at it now, and now you have 20, like we have 2023 eyes. Let's be real.
Yeah.
We look back at some of the stuff that happened in WWE, and we're like, wow. We legitimately popped for a tag team called Crime Time, who was from Brooklyn, who stole people's stuff and then sold it again. Like, I mean, that's the things that we were like, yo, this is so cool. And then we look back and we're like, this is not as cool as I thought it was.
Yeah.
Like, there was an angle where a ring announcer was mad at another ring announcer, and they had a wrestling match. And in said wrestling match, this man proceeds to tell another woman that's what blondes are good for, laying on their back. And then he got his ass kicked by all three of the blondes, and then got declassed in front of like the crowd live. Like, these are things that happen in wrestling, and we get it. Like, is it fucked up? Yes, it is. And when I look back and think about like Mustafa Ali and the shit that he's going through, and when I see Apollo Crews and the shit that, like, the crazy thing is when I watched him do that stuff, I was like, oh, I kind of get like the justification behind this. It's kind of a cool character turn. And I never thought in my mind, I was like, yo, this is kind of fucked up. It just never occurred to me. And then the more I look at it, I'm like, oh, yeah, Jordan Miles, ACH, right? That whole thing.
I was going to
like,
get to that.
Yeah, like there's so many more incidents that you come back, you pull from. You're like, wow, bro, like this is all messed up. Like, this is all bad. Like, it's just not good.
The problem with the ACH thing, and I'm just going to put that 2 cents in, and then Damon, you can go. But the ACH thing is this: everyone told that man he was over exaggerating, and they told him, they're like, no, you're being, and they really denied that man and said like he was crazy. Like people were really giving him mental illness, calling him crazy because on how he reacted to that, and like it's crazy. And now everybody wants to go, oh, this is terrible. It's crazy. Like, no, man, ACH deserved better from everybody, from all of us. But yeah, go ahead, Damien. There.
It sucks that I'm completely born from a different time.
Yeah.
Well, because at the end of the day, I ain't gonna lie. Me and Justin is sitting there throwing ideas around. There's some shit that comes out of my mouth that if the world knew, I'd definitely be canceled. It's wrestling. You pitch the craziest shit that you got and you see if it can work. That's wrestling. It's a show. Period. So you're being paid to do so. Now, like, okay, I get it. Certain things could be too far for somebody. And they don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, one, we shouldn't be surprised. Period. WWE has people that think on the same level as I do. It's wrestling, man. Like, I feel like the whole entire... Now, her getting fired for taking a chair, that's kind of fucked up. That's fucked up. I say sue you for being wrongfully terminated, not for this other bullshit. Because no offense, I'm calling it bullshit because there were ideas that were thrown out. And if somebody likes the suggestion and says, you know what, I'm going to do this, then that's on them. Apollo Crews did it, didn't he? That's on him. All these other people that did this stuff that we look back at like, they did it. That's on them. Period.
Because they were told.
We have free will. We have free will and choice. Do we or do we fucking not?
We do. But
so okay,
it is not that simple. We are not gonna put it like it. It ain't that simple.
Look, bro.
That's still their employer.
I'm trying to tell you,
Damn, that's their employer though.
Well, guess what? I guess I wouldn't have a job.
Okay.
But here's okay.
If it meant
that
much to me, if it meant
Hold
that
on.
much to me, and that was the hill that I was gonna die on, like legit. If I was gonna die on that hill, then I'm willing to lose my job.
Okay, so but here's where I look at it kind of differently, right? So let's use Bianca Belair's situation, right? For example, it was 4 weeks in a row that she told them, "I do not want to say this line." So the writer took it out, and then Dunn put it back in and said, "Nah, make her say this line." It was 4 weeks in a row. If I'm told, listen, the first week. If she told me no, okay. Me personally, I'm like, all right, cool. She don't want to do that. That's fine. We won't have her say that. But you do it in the second week. Now you're just being disrespectful. Because then you do it the third week, the fourth week. You're trying to consistently get someone to say something just because you think it's funny, and that's the problem. It's just like if someone tells you, "Hey, I'm not comfortable saying that line," and you're like, "Nah, say that line." What the hell? You know what I mean? Like at some point, you got to be like, "Hey, all right, cool. We ain't gonna let you say that line." And that's just an example of like why it was just fucked up, is that somebody was trying to be told to do something against their will. And that's my problem with it. I don't have some of this, like the 9/11 pitch, like it's retarded. Sorry to use that word. It's just dumb. It's stupid. Like you talking to a person who's like 5 years old that planned a 9/11. Come on now. At least be more clear. My dad did. Because then at that point it's more believable. Because that's what we're in. We're in a couple.
Even then, why are we even
making stuff
about
we're in?
Like that's
but we're in.
That's the problem, man. Like
no,
because
we're in. Okay, listen. We're in a business where controversy creates cash. We are, and sometimes you have to push the envelope a little too far to get something back, and you have to. We're in a business where we talk about believability has to be the thing, right? No one's gonna believe that Mansoor at 5 years old planned an attack. Like it just doesn't make sense. You have to make it you have to make it make sense. Is it still controversial? Yes, 100%. Well, damn it, now his name just escapes my mind. He's a principal now. Former wrestler.
Muhammad Hassan.
Muhammad Hassan. Like at that time, like he was one of the most controversial characters on screen. And guess what? Everybody paid attention because at the end of the day, controversy creates cash. And I hate that I had to say it that way, but when you look at the news, that's why we pay attention to the news.
Doesn't make it right. That's
morally, you're right. Morally, you're 100% correct. You are 100% correct. On a moral scale, you're 100% correct.
We sit here and we talk like, especially the Mustafa joint. Like we sat in here like, and not even just us, because we've had these conversations on this show. We've had these conversations about race and about the stuff that's going on. We were talking about George Floyd on a wrestling podcast, and how it affected not only the world, but not in just wrestling itself. But when we talk about the Muslim community and when you think about 9/11 and how much dissension and separation and just hatred that caused, and WWE wants to be all this inclusive stuff. Why is that even being brought to the table in the first place? You got Muslim kids watching this show. Why? What? For what? For what? Believability? Seriously, cut that crap out. Believability? No. If it creates hatred, it ain't worth it. Like we are too busy to die on the hill of we gotta make it believable, brother. It real life? No, because it's not. It ain't real life. Like we have to we really have to look and check ourselves on is it worth it? No, man. No, that must the Muhammad Hassan stuff. Yes, it was controversial. It made the eyes wrong. Now look at it. Guess what? It was controversial. It lost that man a job. It was too much. And now, yes, he's probably happy now, being a principal and everything. Happy that he's found something, a career, making good for himself. But no.
I feel where you're coming from.
I
do.
Who cares? Like you said, it's wrestling. Why are we doing for wrestling? No, we can come up with other controversial crap that coming down to racism and discrimination. There are so many other controversial things that we can do, but everything why do we have to deal it to race? That's the problem. That's the issue of it. God could to hell with believability and controversy creates stash. Nah, man, that's
because race. Listen. If you want something that's going to create controversy, race is the fastest way to create controversy. In this,
then we need to be more creative. Then we do. We as
but I'm not even just talking about creative. I'm not even just talking about in a wrestling sense. I'm talking about in this country. It's that way.
It's in everything. It happens all the time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm not denying that at all.
I don't know. I guess I guess my thing is I'm not upset about it because, like I said, it was an idea that was pitched. Something that did not go through. Shit comes out of people's mouths for ideas, and they're not always great ideas. Like I said,
that tells them about that tells you about them.
Do you know how much crazy stuff is gonna have you do?
And
that Justin said no. Yeah. You saved your life.
But
saved you, buddy.
Not a problem.
And the thing is, though, is that. To really, for me, to kind of dig at the heart of this issue, she should have never lost her job.
Nah,
she was doing what she thought. She was doing what she thought was right.
Yes, because that's at the heart of the lawsuit. Yes, at the heart of the lawsuit, that's the problem. Yes,
so that's the problem. Being unlawfully fired because you stood up, and that was the hill she wanted to die on. But she shouldn't have been. Oh, you're being fired for taking a chair. It should have been hey. You know what? I think that we're not going to work. I probably should find other employment. That would have been the better way to do things. Just because, like I said, if that's the hill that you're going to die on, especially at a job, you have to be prepared to lose your job. Period. That's in real life.
Yeah.
There is plenty of times that I left a job because things weren't done right. And I stood up for it. And it was I can't do this. I can't even work for this company anymore. So, like I said, it's as far as the ideas and things that were being pitched, it is what it is. It's wrestling. I don't think.
And she called out those bad pitches. She was just calling out bad pitches and stuff like that. And some of the pitches that were released that we get to talk. And just imagine, those are just some of the topics that were just brought up by her. There's a 31-page document that describes a lot more. There's a lot of other stuff. It's not even the worst kind of stuff. But you got to think about the stuff that we don't even know about that gets pitched all the time. And I do agree. You should find other reasons not to like somebody or why you want to battle that person in wrestling, right? Just in general. Now, race shouldn't be one of those reasons, right? That you're gonna stir the controversy up. But the problem, right, with WWE, and this was one thing that we talked about a few years ago, was you're either in the women's division, right? You're either friends or you're enemies. And then those friends usually turn enemies because one person did something that one person didn't like, and it was always the catty kind of drama, not versus building up stories into why these two, except for Sasha and Bayley, were the only two that had things that were kind of building. But we have to be able to find there's other stories out there that can get told, right? The Mandy Rose Otis story was one of the coolest stories that we got to see told, right? And then it just went to hell in a handbasket after they released that writer. But race, you're right. I agree with you that race shouldn't be like the story. You should find other reasons other than race and sex and sexual orientations. You should find other reasons that a person doesn't like that person or what they want to battle, or if you're trying to make the storyline kind of a little bit more spicier, it shouldn't have to include some secret about somebody who plotted to do something with 9/11. You know what I mean?
The
audacity like that, and then like that as much as that company did right after 9/11 did, like they wanted why make a mockery? Why? Like you just make a mockery of yourself.
But Chaz didn't do it.
I know. It's just why pitch it?
Somebody.
It's dumb.
It's 2021, y'all.
People say it's just dude. People just say dumb shit out of their mouths. You know that. It happens. You say dumb shit all the time.
Not on this scale. Not on that scale.
I didn't say
not
that
on that scale.
Say some dumb shit.
I mean, we all do, but not on that. Not on that scale.
Like I said, you don't have the platform.
Thanks. I guess.
Well,
I don't know.
At least not yet.
I was about to say, yeah.
Wait till you do. You might have to have somebody to check all your tweets before you tweet it out.
I've already done that. I've already wiped my Twitter.
Because you.
Yeah, I gotta go through. I have to hire a manager to do that for me.
No, just because there was some stuff.
Any of mine.
It just because people take anything. I thought some people exaggerate, and just take anything.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. What I don't care. Like I said, I'm offensive. It is what it is.
I'm gonna hire a team to just go through my social media account and scrub it.
So. All right, this or that. What you got for me, Cliff?
Do you like this episode or that last episode we did last week? Because we're like way over on time.
You're right.
Last week was like way shorter.
You're right. So who cares? Finish it. We'll finish it. We're here. This or that. What you got? Or you don't have nothing?
All right. Let's go with a battle of big men. Who
big men.
Do we like more, Vader or Otis?
That's easy.
Oh.
That's
no,
easy
not really. Not
That's
necessarily.
easy for me. That's easy for me.
But I got my choice.
I got mine. Yeah, I mean, Otis. I like Otis. Otis is cool, but Vader did it. Vader did it so Otis could, Vader did the moonsault so Otis could do the worm. Vader was the one who did it really first. Like big man, like as far as not like tall, but like big heavy set dude moving and then like really working.
That man was wide.
Yeah. So rest in peace. But yeah, I'm going with Vader, hands down. All respect to Otis, because Otis survived. Tucker didn't.
Yeah, true.
And everyone said that everyone liked Tucker more than Otis at the time. So
yeah, I always liked Otis though.
I'd always like Otis too, but the IWC, anyway. But all righty, what about you, Cliff?
No, I want to hear Damien's because I'm probably gonna be a split vote actually.
Yeah. So no, definitely. So.
It's a tough call. So that's where I'm looking. I'll tell you this. I'll go and then Damien, you can go ahead and wrap it up. So as much as I like Vader, I kind of felt like although Vader had one character, that character was over like all the time, right? And he's very athletic. He can move very well, and he was just doing some pretty cool ass shit, especially like over in Japan. I like Otis though because I feel like Otis was kind of like in a group of people that were very I look a certain part. I look the WWE part. Otis does not look that part, and he's very athletic. He's gone through like several character changes, and the crazy thing is that all three of those characters have gotten over. Whether it was like the funny, like the workman's the workman style to the, he got betrayed, right? And he turned heel, and then the heel character got over, and then he turned face again, and that face character got over. And even now, like the whole modeling thing that he's doing, like is getting over with the crowd. I just think Otis has more layers to him than what Vader did. Athletically wise, he's obviously not going to be on Vader's level where Vader was doing moonsaults and stuff like that. But I think Otis, he's done some pretty cool feats himself. Yeah. And I like that Otis. I feel when Otis is given a chance to cut promos or even just to say kind of anything, like it gets over with the crowd relatively quick. So I think for me, as much as I want to say I love Vader, and I love Vader on Boy Meets World, but I'm gonna have to go with Otis.
All right, well, Damon, you gotta break the tie.
So I grew up on Vader, and Vader did some really, really like dastardly things, like ripping off Mick Foley's ear.
Yep, I was
thinking. And the shit that he was just doing in Japan, like the man is a brute.
He was a menace.
Like dude, even his little run in WWE, he was just beating down people. And then Otis, I love Otis. It's just everything that he's done has just been enjoyable. I love his Snickers commercial.
The Snickers commercial is funny.
Snickers commercial is die every time I see it. Fuck. I'm gonna have to go with Vader. Why am I agreeing with Chaz?
Yes!
I think it's just because he was such a fucking brute. I like evil people, and Vader was a special kind of evil.
Yeah.
And then that big ass fucking like mastodon, like that.
And you know what's funny is that like,
and then he put over Ron Simmons.
He did.
As the first black world heavyweight champion, put him over and made him look beautiful.
In Baltimore, Maryland, by the way.
Yes. That was that like, and that's like one of the matches of Vader that like stick out to me a lot, just because it was crazy. That match was crazy.
Yeah.
Like everybody thought Vader was like, retaining. Like it was that good of a match. So yeah, I'm gonna have to pick Vader.
Well, it doesn't really matter what we think. It matters what you think. So you let us know in the comments over on Spotify, or even just hit us up with the hashtag
this or that.
Yeah, this or that. Or you can even put in like Vader versus Otis.
Y'all better pick Vader.
He also had, and you know what? I'll be fair when I say this though. I'm trying to be as impartial as possible. Vader also had like the better song though. Like, let's be real. Because like Otis doesn't really have a song. Yeah. But I will give Otis. I'll give Otis the better phrase though, because I love when he goes, Tucky!
On that note.
We can't forget Vader beat up that what was it, that Middle Eastern guy at the news reporter that called wrestling.
Oh yeah.
on live television.
He did do that. You're right. You're
in another country.
Yeah.
And we stuck there for like a week or like 2.
Yep. Yeah. Vader gets all props.
That's a real man. That's a G.
If you've made it to the end of this episode, my PlayStation users, you get a platinum trophy. My Xbox users, you get an achievement. We went 15 minutes past TV time. So you get, it's overtime. Chaz and Friends OT. We want to clip out the last 15 minutes and just call it OT. The OT. And put that in, but make it, you got to pay for it on Patreon.
OnlyFans.
But yeah, right there you got right. You're right. There you go. Yeah. I forget the 3 count as the OnlyFans count.
We do have OnlyFans.
I keep forgetting that. So yeah, we're gonna put the last 15 minutes on the OnlyFans, and it's gonna be $3 because it's the 3 count, and you get the last 15 minutes. It's the OT. There it is. All right. Wow. If you didn't see it live, too bad. Now you got to pay for it. Should have been there when we went over my hour limit. So I'm Chaz Evans, the Don, the Grappler Region's best kept secret. Just I'm the GOAT. Baltimore's greatest export. Okay, this right here, he's also the GOAT. Right? His name is His name is the Red Dog. Okay, yeah, he's also the GOAT. And then that guy down there, right? Yeah, he's a villain. He's evil. But guess what? He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT of evil. Oh, the GOAT of evil. There it is. That's a shirt. The GOAT of evil.
That is a shirt.
That's a shirt, bro. But yeah, that's Damien Fatal right there. He's the GOAT of evil. All right. You can follow me at Chaz_the Don on everything. You can follow the Red Dog at the _Red Dog 85. Don't follow Damien. He don't want your follow. He will. If you follow him, you will not be found ever again. But make sure you follow us. And we can't follow us at 3count_pod. 3count pod on everything else. Be there next week for when we talk more wrestling. We might listen. I tried to make it as possible. We didn't talk about CM Punk this week, but I just name dropped him on the show. Up 0 day incident. Be there next week for the CM Punk show.
Tucker!
Hey, 3Count Podcast listeners, it's your host, the icon Chaz Evans here. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. That's the Facebook, that's the Twitter, that's the Instagram, that's the Snapchat. Wait, we don't have Snapchat. We don't have Photo Bucket. But make sure you follow us on all those things at 3Count Podcast or at 3Count_pod. That's on the Twitter, by the way, 3Count_pod. But yeah, definitely also make sure you check out our YouTube channel and subscribe to our videos. And if you really like us a lot, definitely go find us on ProWrestlingTees.com/3CountPod and get yourself a 3Count Podcast t-shirt. And make sure you continue listening to us.